Okay, so if you're watching this video, you are trying to play overclock Goldeneye Netplay. So I'm just going to assume you already have the file Goldeneye AQZ .7z, baby. All right, we're going to open it up. We're going to extract the folder to the desktop. You can put this folder wherever you want it to live. For me, I'm just going to let it live right here on the desktop. We're going to go in that folder. There is a big old guide here with lots of reference photos that you can also follow along with. I'm not going to explain any of this. I'm just going to try to get you started as quickly as possible. So here we go. We're in the folder. We go into the Project64 folder. We launch Project64. This window is going to come up. Just hit OK. It doesn't matter. And then the emulator is up. We're going to go configuration, plugins. Here you can choose Glide or Jabo. Glide is more accurate. It has fewer glitches, but honestly Jabo is pretty good. The only glitches you will ever notice will be like muzzle flash things. Like the muzzle flash won't look right, but it looks fine for me, but other people complain about it and they use Glide, so problem solved. I use Jabo, so boom, I'm in Jabo. All right, the next thing you got to do is configure the input. So we're going to go input settings. Here the AQZ window pops up and we can choose which plugin we want. Nrage is preferred. Go configure. You can use Jabo, but most people use the nrage. It does have an X input option. I have not messed with this, but I'm assuming you can just use an Xbox controller with it straight up and it'll detect. Unlike the old nrage, make sure background input is checked. This allows you to click off the emulator, and be chatting and whatnot, and the emulator will still receive the inputs. So boom, let's pretend like I configured. I'm done. Hit save. Okay. All right. Next, I need some ROMs. Well, I'm just going to assume that you guys have found this. Yeah, let's just say you guys found it. And we're going to choose our ROM directory. This is what's in here, by the way. But we're going to choose that as my ROM directory. And look at that. We have all of the ROMs, except that one, because that one's not in the download. Alrighty, so the next thing you want to do is let's go back to the folders. This is very important. AQZ Netplay does not share the save from the host, like kind of like how Moop and Kylera does. So you have to have the same save, otherwise you'll desync every time. For the 60 Goldeneye 007, the 60 just means the fire rate has been fixed. These have all been patched so the automatic weapons don't fire too fast. If you run the original ROM, the automatic weapons will empty the clips in like 3 seconds. It's ridiculous. So that's why these are patched just for this emulator, just for this setup. That's what these ROMs are for. So don't get them mixed up with your Moopin ROMs. But the two ROMs that you'll most likely be playing will be 60 Goldeneye and then maybe the original one. But for those two ROMs, the saves already exist. These two folders are those two Goldeneye ROMs. So that's the saves for these two ROMs. All right. These folders cannot be deleted. And also you cannot delete this backup folder. If you do, it's going to break the save replacer, which is this thing right here. This is something that we have to run before every time we play. So if I'm like, oh, okay, let's say my emulator's closed, right? So I'm starting from scratch and I'm about to play with 3 other people. And we don't know if we have the same saves, but we all have the same installation. I'm going to run this bat file. It's going to pop up. Press Y, enter, enter, enter. And what that did is it automatically takes the backup save here and it pastes it into the folder. So as long as we run that bat file, the 60 FPS corresponds to the Goldeneye 60 ROM. And that's the one we're going to be playing the most anyway. So that's the reason I made it just for that. Yes, it can be done. I can make a save replacer for every ROM, But that's where this text file comes in. I'm not doing all that work. Here's what you're going to do. Basically, don't ever, like I said before, don't delete these two folders and the backup folder. Here are the unique codes that can possibly generate anytime you load a ROM. So if I load Dark Edition, this is the save folder. That's the code on the save folder that's going to generate in here. So I'm going to end up having another folder. In fact, I can show you that right now. I'm going to load Library Maze. As soon as I click this to launch, it generated the folder. The emulator's just on my other screen. So it generated that folder. So let's close that. So let's say, oh man, I want to play Library Maze with my friend, but he doesn't have a save, and I want to make sure we both don't have saves, but I don't know which save is what. You can go here, find Library Maze. Okay, it's going to be Goldeneye DB9D1, blah, 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 blah. So save Goldeneye DB9D1, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to delete that one, and now I'm good. But don't delete these. All right, enough of the save crap. So let's say we're starting from scratch. Going in my folder. I've run my save replacer. Okay, the save replacer ran. I launch my emulator. I launch too many ROMs. I launch 60 Goldeneye 007. Oh shit, there's one thing I forgot. Let's start over. Very important. On every ROM you want to play, and this is in the guide, so if you read the README here, it tells you what to do, and there's photos. But basically, every single ROM that you want to play, you have to right-click on it, edit game settings, and then right here, memory 8, overclock modifier 2048. Click apply, and then OK. And I'll even show you with the photo. I'll bring it up again. All right, that doesn't really work too well. That was a bust. You get the idea. Edit game settings, 2048, 8 megabytes. You must do this if you want to get the good, sweet frame rate. All right, so now that we've done that, we're ready to play. Double click the ROM. AQZ window pops up. If you want to use one of these public servers, choose the one that has the lowest ping. So I'm going to choose New York. Boom. And what it does is it spits out a code right here, this join code. I'm going to highlight and copy that. And I would paste that on the Discord. I would paste that to my friend, who's trying to join. And what they would do is they would do the same thing. They would, let's say they're joining you. So they open up their thing. They launch the ROM. And instead of clicking on these servers, right click, paste, press enter, and now I'm in the lobby. And that's how you join lobbies. All right. See how my name is anonymous? We can change that. /name blah, blah, blah. Enter. Yes, my name is changed. All right. If I want to start the game, /start. And the game is started. I'm the only one playing. And there you go. That's basically it. Just ignore all the ROM hacks and just focus on the 60 Goldeneye 007 because that's the one everyone's going to play, and it's the most convenient one because all we got to do is run the save replacer, boom, boom, and then launch and play. Works every time. I have yet to get a desync. It's been perfect every time. So this might be the end of Moopin, well, for certain use cases anyway. Moopin's still good for, I think you can get lower input delay on Moopin in a 4-player game because the problem with AQZ is everyone gets the same input delay. So if you got a 4-player game, if one person has a really big ass ping, well, everyone's going to be at 7 frame or 8 frame or whatever. That's really the only drawback. But it's kind of worth it because you can play 4-player with a good frame rate. It's not at 10 frames per second. I'm sure I forgot something, but hopefully this helps you guys. Really, the big thing is follow the guide, read the stuff. I'm going to read it right now because I probably forgot some stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Nope, it's all the stuff I just said. Oh, yeah, you can also host private games, but, just follow the AQZ commands. You just port forward and give the person your IP, and they would join you directly. Yeah, that's it. Enjoy.